A clay jar found near Baghdad may have been able to make electricity nearly 2,000 years before the first modern battery. If that sounds impossible, the object at the center of the mystery is real. The question is not whether the jar existed. The question is what its makers intended it to do. In 1936, archaeologists working at Kujut Rabu near Baghdad in present-day Iraq uncovered a small ceramic vessel unlike an ordinary storage jar. The site lay close to Ctesiphon, one of the great cities of ancient Mesopotamia and a major center under the Parthian and later Sasanian empires. The object is often dated broadly to one of those periods, although its exact age remains uncertain. The jar was only about 14 centimeters tall. Inside was a cylinder made from rolled copper. In the center of that cylinder stood an iron rod. Bitumen, a natural asphalt used widely in the ancient Near East, helped seal and separate the parts. To a museum researcher named Wilhelm Koenig, this arrangement looked strangely familiar. In 1938, Koenig published a bold suggestion. Perhaps the vessel had been a simple galvanic cell, an ancient form of battery. The idea was surprisingly easy to test in principle. Put two different metals, such as copper and iron, into a liquid that can carry charged particles, and a chemical reaction can create a small electrical voltage. Modern experimenters have built jars inspired by the ancient object and filled them with acidic liquids. Some versions do produce a weak current. That is where the mystery becomes dangerous, because a working reconstruction does not prove the ancient jar was designed as a battery. A cooking pot can hold water, but that does not mean it was made as a laboratory instrument. Archaeology depends on context, and the Baghdad object has very little clear evidence of electrical use. No ancient wires have been securely linked to it. No complete electrical circuit has been found beside it. Koenig suggested that such cells might have been used for electroplating, placing a thin layer of one metal over another. But researchers have not found convincing evidence that objects from that place and period were electroplated with electricity. Ancient craftsmen already had other ways to gild metals. There is another problem. Similar vessels found at sites such as Seleucia and Ctesiphon contained metal cylinders along with decayed organic material that may have once been rolled papyrus or another fiber. That has led some scholars to argue that these objects were containers for written charms, protective texts, or ritual material rather than electrical devices. Yet the battery idea never disappeared. In 1993, scholar Paul Kaiser examined the possibility again and proposed that simple electric cells might even have been used for pain relief, pointing to ancient knowledge of the numbing effects of electric fish. It was an inventive theory, but it remains a theory, not a proven fact. The comparison with modern history makes the object even more fascinating. In 1800, the Italian scientist Alessandro Volta introduced the voltaic pile, widely recognized as the first modern battery capable of supplying a continuous current. His work helped open the age of electrochemistry. If the Baghdad jar had truly been used to generate electricity many centuries earlier, it would force us to rethink part of that story. But history does not change because something is possible. It changes when evidence becomes strong enough to show what actually happened. So, was the so-called Baghdad battery a forgotten electrical invention, or was it a ritual container whose materials accidentally resemble a battery to modern eyes? Today, the safest answer is that we do not know. The jar can inspire an electrical experiment, but its original purpose remains uncertain. And perhaps that is what makes it so powerful. Sometimes the most fascinating objects from the ancient world are not the ones that give us answers, but the ones that reveal how much of human knowledge has been lost, misunderstood, or left without explanation. If you enjoy stories like this, please follow for more hidden history and untold stories from around the world.